Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we'll go through the presentation of electric vehicle, the end of an ice age. What are the contents in this presentation? First, we'll go through the classification of vehicle, reason for transition, corporate steps towards electrification, government policies, government incentives, and corporate investments. Let's go through the classification of vehicles. In this flowchart, you will see the types of vehicle. So there are four dominant types. First is two-wheelers, passenger vehicles, commercial vehicles, three-wheelers. In two-wheelers, we have moped, gear bikes, or we can call them as scooters and motorcycles. Example, Honda CBR 250 or 1000 in gear bikes, or Honda Activa in moped. Passenger vehicles. Passenger vehicles are for families, which are Tesla Model X or Tata Harrier. So there are six or more types in it. We have hatchback, coupe, sedan, SUV, station wagon, crossover. Commercial vehicles, we use these vehicles for transport of goods in service industry, logistics and supply chain. Three-wheeler, this segment is used for travel support, example rickshaw and small carriers. Types of vehicles based on energy input. The first is ICE, internal combustion engine. It is a heat engine which burns the fuel and gives the motion to wheels through the piston and crankshaft. There are four strokes in cylinder of heat engine: suction stroke, expansion stroke, compression stroke, and then exhaust stroke. Here we get emissions due to the burning of the fuel. Hybrid vehicle. Hybrid vehicle is one where we use both battery operated motor and fuel engine. This combination is accepted on the basis of vehicle economy and less emission compared to ICE. FCEV, fuel cell electric vehicle. We will talk less on FCEV as there are no commercial vehicles yet, but still we'll go through it. In this vehicle, hydrogen or oxygen is used to generate electricity and supply it to electric motor. Also here we have combination of fuel cell and independent battery to obtain the vehicle economy. Then comes plug-in electric vehicle. In PHEV, we have a plug which is inserted in the battery. Therefore, the source of the energy is from outside rather than generating it in a car or bike itself. Here we can also use a small generator to create electricity and supply it to the battery. Use of kinetic energy is also obtained through regenerative concepts. Battery electric vehicle. BEV, this vehicle is fully powered by battery. The battery provides power to the motor for propulsion. Types of batteries for electric vehicles. First come lithium-ion batteries. This type of battery have lithium ions which moves between positive and negative electrode through electrolyte. Lithium-ion batteries are widely used in each and every country. Nickel metal hydride. Here positive electrodes goes through chemical reaction using nickel oxide hydride, and negative goes through using hydrogen absorbent. Then comes lead acid. Lead acid battery is the first battery created, but compared to others have low density. Ultra capacitor. This is the only rechargeable concept which can store more energy than batteries and also can deliver faster charging than batteries, but the voltage capacity is lesser. Electric vehicle ecosystem. This is a general ecosystem of electric vehicles. So as we all know that any manufacturing starts with raw material. So the raw material of the entire vehicle is brought to the factory to manufacture batteries and vehicles. Then comes auto components. So auto components are manufactured from the raw materials provided. Then comes battery manufacturers. So similar to auto components, batteries are also manufactured from raw materials and assembled. Automotive OEMs. Automotive OEMs are responsible for all these processes. After assembly, all vehicles are delivered to the customer. Charging infrastructure. Now we know use of vehicles, use of this vehicle, we need to charge it. So we need established charging stations in villages, in cities, and near highways also. Also, people have started implementing in their societies. So let's say we have a society of 12 flat systems. So people have installed a charging station there to recharge their vehicles in day or in night provided. When the battery is completely used, then we need to recycle it through chemical reaction. Thereby battery recycling is needed. Now the reason for transition, why we shifted from internal combustion engine to battery electric vehicle. So I have this data, global greenhouse gas emission data. So here we'll see emission by country, global emissions by gas, global emissions by economic sector. So the entire idea is fitted in this pie chart. This data is in the pie chart. So first we'll go through the global greenhouse gas emission by the gases. Carbon dioxide from fossil fuel and industrial processes hold huge amount of space, around 65%. Right now globally we are reducing the consumption of fossil fuel by banning ICE engine. So we may have reduction in this 65%. Second is CO2 by forest and land use, holding 11%. Then comes methane 16%, nitrous oxide 6%, and finally F gases. F gases are man-made gases which usually comes from air conditioning, heat pump, refrigeration, and some example of F gases are hydrofluorocarbons, perfluorocarbon, sulfur hexafluoride, nitrogen trifluoride. Second is emission by economic sector. Here, electricity and heat production has highest percentage because of the coal used to produce heat globally. There is a huge amount of pollution. It also depends on coal quality, what type of grade of coal you use to create steam. Still, ultimately, it is a pollution. Then comes agriculture, forestry, and land use. 24%, which used for construction of houses, industries, and more. Industry 21%, which is automobile industry, aerospace industry, marine industry, food industry, pharma industry, steel industry, and more. Transportation 14%, other energies 10%, and buildings 6%. Then we'll go through a pie chart which is from 2014 global CO2 emission from fossil fuels, combustion, and some industrial processes. Here we can see China holds 30% of global CO2 emissions. 30%, because China is a large manufacturer in this entire world globally right now. So they have a uh, huge number of pollution, 30%. So basically China is a global manufacturing hub, so they need huge amount of electricity, and also China is number one in electric vehicles, so they are substituting the emissions by using electric vehicles more and more in future. US 15%, European Union 28 countries 9%, India 7%, Russian Federation 5%, Japan 4%, other 30%. In all electricity creation process, hydro energy, which is the tidal energy, is the cleanest energy so far. Now that we are building an electric car, we are using electric car. Let's go through a car's perspective. So electric cars have space. They provide tax reduction. They can be charged at home or anywhere else in urbans also. So we have huge amount of power in electric vehicles. While going uphill, the acceleration is also very quick. The pickup of the vehicles is very powerful. Now also electricity is very cheap compared to the crude oil, thereby saving the money. and also the emissions from the electric vehicles are very less. So preferring electric vehicles instead of the combustion engine vehicles, it's very good. Corporate steps towards electrification. Now, here are some electric vehicle companies in the market. Let's say internal combustion engine. So each and every company, each and every corporate globally have internal combustion engine vehicles. Tata Motors, Maruti Suzuki, Mahindra, Toyota, TVS, Honda, Hyundai, Kia, MG, BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Ford, then Land Rovers, that is the Jaguar Tata Group, General Motors, Volvo. In terms of hybrid, these are what I have found. These are the corporates which have hybrid vehicles: Tata Motors, Maruti Suzuki, Mahindra, Toyota, Honda, Hyundai, Kia, MG, BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Ford, Jaguar, Land Rover, then Jaguar's Land Rover actually, General Motor, and Volvo. Plug-in, very less corporates have plug-in electric hybrid vehicle. So these are the corporates: Maruti Suzuki, Toyota again, Tata Motor, and the list goes on. Hyundai, Kia, MG, BMW. Specifically for battery electric vehicle in India, well, Tesla is a global market leader. Also, BYD is a huge competitor to Tesla. But for India, we have Tata Motor, then Hyundai, Mahindra, TVS, Hero, Mercedes also is also here. MG, Revolt, Torque. Torque is a startup. Ather is a startup. Ola, Bajaj. Ola is a startup. Okinawa, Ampere. Then comes the range of the vehicle. So here you will see what are the range in terms of kilometer or miles for each and every source of energy. Let's say internal combustion engine. If we use petrol, then the range is 675 kilometers to 880 kilometers. In terms of mile, it is 420 miles to 545 miles. Diesel, we have 730 kilometers to 971.08 kilometers. In terms of mile, it is 452 miles to 528.78 miles. CNG, the highest range among everyone, 1143 kilometers to 2043 kilometers, which is 711 miles to 1270 miles. Huge. Hybrid, 602 kilometers to 903 kilometers, which is 374.06 miles to 561.09 miles. Plug-in hybrid, 407 kilometers to 732 kilometers. Battery electric vehicles, 306 kilometers to 638 kilometers. Tesla and Tata Motors is also considered in battery electric vehicles. So in this flowchart, you will see that yes, battery electric vehicles have less emissions and it is very eco-friendly, but CNG holds a longest range amongst everyone. 1143 kilometers, which is 711 miles to 2043 kilometers, that is 1270 miles. Huge. So I think from my side, I may be biased, but from my side, I think CNG should be the future of vehicles. But still, there are some some considerations regarding the accidents through the busting of CNG cylinders and all. If we go through that, then we won't have most of the accidents through CNG. But CNG is very eco-friendly. It is also cheap, not as compared to the electric vehicles maybe, but still we have to switch to CNG. The range completely depends on the displacement, fuel tank capacity, battery capacity, mileage, and most of the other specification like price or affordability. Range shows above are when vehicle is fully charged or fully filled. The range is calculated as per mileage per liter into fuel tank capacity or the battery capacity. Now, the stated policies and announced targets by the automakers. Now, automakers have not actually accepted that they will completely phase out the sales and registration of ICE, but they have given the target. So first is automakers tend to end ICE from 2030 to 2040. That is ICE fully phase out, but they will still consider plug-in electric vehicle and hybrids. Hybrids holds uh, the combustion also and electrification also. So we are still considering the combustion of the fossil fuels. So first is Jaguar, Tata Group, BYD, Ford, General Motor, Daimler, Volvo. Then the second is automakers not pledge. They don't have the targets, but they are saying that they will be controlling the combustion or emissions. The first is BMW, then Stellantis Group. Stellantis Group says no new ICE investments. 70% investment in plug-in hybrid electric vehicle hybrids, and by 2030 they will be switching towards battery electric vehicle. Toyota says 70% sales by 2025 of hybrids, 10% of plug-in, 10% of electric vehicles or hybrid fuel electric vehicles, and 10% of ICE. The cost of charging stations. The cost of charging stations. The cost of charging station depends on the charger type, output power. So Bharat AC 001, the output power is 10 kilowatt. Okinawa provides it. The cost of charging stations. Charger type. The cost of charging station depends on the charger type. The cost of charging stations. The cost of charging stations depend on the charger type and the power output. Let's say Bharat AC 001 have output of 10 kilowatt per hour. The cost is 70,000 in rupees, 70,000. Then Bharat DC 001, the output power is 15 kilowatt, 20 kilowatt, 30 kilowatt an hour. So in rupees, 2,40,000. Then type 2 AC, 22 kilowatt, 1,25,000. Then so on and on. CSS 50 kilowatt output in rupees 14,50,000. Chargers are also distributed globally based on the standards, which are American standard, European standard, and Asian standard. As per the Society of Manufacturers of Electric Vehicles, there are only 1,800 charging stations in India as of March 2021. But India needs 4 lakh charging station or 400,000 charging stations for 20 lakh electric vehicles by 2026. 2 million electric vehicles. Huge, huge. Government policies. Governments with official targets for 100% phase out sales registration of new lightweight vehicles by a certain date. So we have the chart. Chart shows countries and the years. Countries, Norway says that they will completely phase out the sales and the registration of ICE by 2025. Iceland, Ireland, Denmark, Netherlands, Austria, Slovenia, Singapore by 2030. Cape Verde, United Kingdom, Canada, USA, only New York and California are committed for 2035 phase out the sales and registration of ICE. France and Spain 2040, Costa Rica 2050, India 2070. all these countries are closing new registrations by these years, but existing cars will be allowed till its expiry. Now, 2050 is the International Zone Emission Vehicle Alliance. So here is the graph of the explanation earlier, previous slide, 100% phase out. So here on the left, you can see the years. At the bottom, you'll see the countries and the respective years when they will be concluding the registration, sales registration of ICE. But still, even if they end the sales and the registration of internal combustion engines in these respective years, they will still continue on using the old vehicles by the expiry of those old internal combustion vehicles. So let's see the next. Oh, again, one thing I forgot. Here are the specific vehicles which countries are telling, like say Norway. On the left hand side bottom of the graph, you will see Norway says that by 2025 they will conclude the sales and registrations of cars and vans. Iceland say only cars, Ireland says cars, Netherlands say cars, Austria says cars and vans, Singapore is only cars, Slovenia cars and vans, UK cars and vans, Denmark cars, so on and on. India certainly don't have any commitment towards which type of vehicle they will be concluding for the sales and the registrations. In US, New York says cars and light trucks. Even California says cars and light trucks. So here is the governments with official targets to 100% phase out. But what are the types of vehicles they will be continuing for sales and registration? Let's say the first is battery electric vehicles and fuel cell electric vehicles only. So which are the countries which will be accepting after the conclusion, the end of the sales and registrations of their respective years? So Norway says that ICE will be concluded on 2025, but they will be continuing creating fuel cell electric vehicles and battery electric vehicles. Same for Netherlands, Austria, Iceland, United Kingdom, United States, California, Spain, Denmark, Cape, France, and Costa Rica. Now, which country says that they will be producing plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, battery electric vehicles, and fuel cell electric vehicles? Slovenia, after 2030, they will be creating these vehicles. Singapore, Canada, United States, New York. No official internal combustion engine car phase out target or below the 100% ambition level. So these are the countries who are not specifically giving the targets that they will be concluding the internal combustion engine car by this particular year. So India don't have a specific year of complete phase out of ICE. China don't have a specific year. Japan don't have a specific year. Germany and United States. United States without California and New York. As we all know, 2050 is International Zero Emission Vehicle Alliance. So what is International Zero Emission Vehicle Alliance? Well, most of the countries came together and they decided that they will be phasing out internal combustion engine by 2050. So there will be a reduction in CO2 per year. Then that will be 125 mile tons of CO2 per year in 2030. Then reduced over 1.5 billion tons of CO2 per year in 2050. If this is the range, 125 millions to 1.5 billion, this is the range. They will be reducing more and more combustion engines, any type, and switch towards electric vehicles. So government commission and guide research to improve electric vehicle policies, incentives, and infrastructure activities. Government incentives. First is India. India has a policy named FAME 2, which came in 2019. So central government will be paying 50,000 per kilowatt hour of battery capacity for two-wheelers or bikes, but up to 40% of the vehicle cost. Then for four-wheeler, they have 10,000 rupees per kilowatt hour, and the lowest GST tax on electric vehicles, which is 5%. Then in Maharashtra, the road tax and registration fees are waived completely on every electrical vehicle. Then first 1 lakh electric two-wheeler customers in this state are eligible for 5,000 rupees per kilowatt hour battery capacity incentive with a ceiling of 10,000 rupees. If two-wheeler is purchased before 31st December 2021, the state will grant an early bird bonus of up to 15,000 with a 3 kilowatt battery vehicle having 3 kilowatt battery only. Scrappage policy of 7,000 rupees incentive. Delhi Delhi has a subsidy of 5,000 rupees per kilowatt hour up to 30,000 for 30,000 rupees for two wheelers plus no tax. Then 10,000 rupees per kilowatt up to 1.5 lakh for four wheelers plus a reduction in tax. Then comes Gujarat. First 1.1 lakh two-wheeler gets subsidy of 10,000 rupees per kilowatt hour up to 20,000 rupees only. Then Telangana, first 2 lakh two-wheelers, 5,000 four-wheelers and 20,000 three-wheelers, which is auto rickshaw. There is a 100% tax cut and registration expense cut. First 500 battery charging and exchange stations will get 25% subsidy on charging equipments. Also, Telangana state government has set aside 775 acres land and 1425 crore rupees for development along with the establishment of electric vehicles and manufacturing plants. China has subsidy, but according to the range of the vehicle, let's say a range of vehicle which is above 400 kilometers will get 25,000 Chinese yuan. Then range between 250 kilometers to 450 kilometers would get 18,000 Chinese yuan. Then up to 250 kilometers, no purchase incentive. Clear. Now these incentives will expire in 2020, but they are thinking on extending these incentives by year. USA, no tax on purchase of EV. Also 200,000 electric cars, a tax credit up to 7,500 US dollars. Then comes Germany, 4,000 euros incentives. 4,000 is 2,000 paid by government plus 2,000 by manufacturer. This for electric vehicles having price up to 60,000 euros only. Incentive of 200 euros per kilowatt hour up to 10,000 euros was in 2019. 200 is reduced by 50 euros each year. This plan is extended up to 2025. Sorry. France, incentive up to 27% of vehicles value, which is 8,500 euros on purchase and 6,000 euros on eco bonus plus 2,500 euros on scrapping old vehicles. Netherlands has no tax on purchase. UK, plug-in hybrid electric vehicle purchase will get 3,500 pound incentive. Sweden, 60,000 Swedish krona on purchase of EV, but should not exceed 25% of EV's price. Italy, 6,000 euro incentive, which is 4,000 euro incentive plus 2,000 euro scrappage bonus. Romania, 10,000 euro incentive on purchase plus 1,500 on scrappage. Listed companies which may affect from EV culture. No, they might affect in the production, stock market, or everywhere. So automobile companies which will be facing good or bad effects of EV culture: Bajaj Auto, Hero MotoCorp, Tata Motors, Maruti Suzuki, the Suzuki Group, Mahindra and TVS. Then oil companies, we are shifting towards battery electric vehicles. So oil companies which and imports or exports, the entire supply chain is of these companies is based on crude oil. Then these are the companies which may face problems or maybe not. Reliance Industries Limited, BPCL, ONGC, GAIL, Castrol India, Gulf Oil Lube India Limited, Indian Oil, MRPL, Oil India, Pertonate. Then the insurance company, of course, insurances on electric vehicles are very expensive compared to other vehicles. So insurance companies in India are the New India Assurance, Bajaj Finserv, ICICI Lombard. Then the ancillary companies, the component manufacturers, Sona Comstar, Bosch, Minda Industries, Endurance Technologies, battery companies, which may benefit from this EV culture. Reliance Industries are going to invest huge amount in manufacturing batteries. BHEL, Amara Raja, Exide Industries, JSW Energy, charging infrastructure. The corporates which are currently providing charging infrastructure or having a huge investment on charging infrastructure are Reliance Industry, Indian Oil, Tata Power, NTPC. And of course, when we have batteries, we need to recycle them. So for that, battery recycling corporate Tata Chemicals is working on that. Tata Chemicals is working on each and every battery recycling technology right now. Corporate investments globally. If we are talking corporate investments globally, Tata Motors to invest $2 billion for electric vehicle ecosystem, plus TPG is investing $1 billion in same plan. This is for next 5 years, that is from 2022 to 2027. Also, Tata Motors has 90% of India's electric vehicle sales in 2019. They sold 19,000 electric vehicles. And they are planning to sell 80,000 electric vehicles in 2022, which is this year. Maruti Suzuki. Suzuki Motor Corporation to invest 10,440 crore rupees in India for electric vehicle ecosystem. By 2025, they are investing rupees 3,100 crore by 2026. Then 7,300 crore in battery electric vehicle manufacturing, and also 1,25,000 electric vehicles. Maruti Suzuki is going to collab with Toyota. Maruti Suzuki Toyotsu, that is Suzuki Motors plus Toyota, are investing rupees 45 crore by 2025 to construct vehicle recycling plant. Hyundai Motor Group have two subsidiaries, Hyundai Motor Co and Kia Corp. Hyundai Motors, Hyundai is planning to sell 1.7 million electric vehicles globally by 2026. Plus, they are planning to invest $79 billion by 2030. They target to acquire 8 to 10% of global sales. They are investing in US about $5.5 billion for EV batteries. Both Hyundai and Kia has planned for 1.44 million units by 2030. Hyundai is investing rupees 4,000 crores by 2028 and coming up with 6 electric vehicles. Mahindra and Mahindra at a valuation of $9 billion, they have raised $250 million, which is 1,925 crore rupees from British International Investments. Toyota will be investing in Japan and US for battery production. The investment is $5.6 billion, which is split into $3 billion in Japan's firm Prime Planet Energy and Solution, and 2.5 billion will go into North Carolina in US. Also, they are investing rupees 4,800 crores in Karnataka, India. Ford is investing $50 billion through 2026 and plans to manufacture 2 million plus vehicles. TVS Motor will invest rupees 1000 crore in India, planning to manufacture up to 5 to 6 lakh units per year. Honda is designing 30 electric vehicles. For that, they are investing $63.74 billion by 2030, plus investing $39.84 billion for software technologies and electrification technologies. This investment is for next 10 years. BMW will invest 30 billion euros by 2025 in R&D of EV. Mercedes-Benz Group is investing 60 billion euros plus from 2022 to 2026 for the transformation. Jaguar is planning to manufacture all Jaguars in EVs and 60% Land Rovers in EVs by 2030. MG Motor is planning to raise 350 to 500 million dollars in India, that is 2,650 to 3,800 crore rupees. General Motors is planning to build 1 million electric vehicles by 2025. So they are investing $6.6 billion in Michigan plant by 2024. Volvo Car Group will invest 1.2 billion euros, that is $1.25 billion, to build an electric vehicle plant in Slovakia. Audi is planning to launch 20 electrical vehicles by 2025. So to do that, they have reserved euros 18 billion, thereby aiming to become fully electric by 2033. BYD, a Chinese group. BYD is from China. It's a huge group in China. China is having a huge pollution problem, but still they are the one who have large number of electric vehicles in their country. They are doing great. They are the first movers. Also, they have huge number of sales in electric vehicles so far. So BYD is investing 30 billion baht in Thailand. So for that, they have finalized 18 billion baht for battery electric vehicles and plug-in hybrid vehicles. Bajaj from India, Bajaj has finalized 300 crore rupees investment in Pune, India. Pune is the district in state Maharashtra, India, for electric vehicle unit, which will be ready by 2022. They have also applied for PLI scheme, central government scheme, through which they will be able to invest 1,000 crores for next 5 years. Hero Electric Vehicles will invest 700 crores by 2025, setting up of new manufacturing unit, for which they has raised 220 crore to part fund the activities. Company is also planning to set up a new manufacturing facility with an annual capacity of 10 lakh units, besides increasing the production at its current plant at Ludhiana to 3 lakh units per annum from 75,000 units at present. Reliance Industries is a huge investment in India. Reliance Industry will be investing 60,000 crore rupees. 60,000 crore rupees for 4 gigafactories, which includes solar PV modules, electrolyzers, fuel cells, and batteries. So now that we have completed the presentation, I'm thanking you all for your valuable time. Hope you like this video. In coming days, I'll be coming with new videos, new presentation, new market analysis, stock market analysis. Hope you like the video. Like, share, subscribe. Bye.